Gage is still on vacation. Where he went, we're unsure. He is a businessman after all. He's probably going to gun shows across the country to pick out the finest weapons for his clients. In the meantime, we have the butcher to supply us. And while she doesn't have any new guns for us, she does have little additions that make our guns go the extra mile. This is the Butcher's AK/Car mod pack. Released February 26th, 2015, the AK/Car mod pack is the 18th paid DLC for Payday 2, and the second paid mod pack after the Gage Courier pack. It comes with 20 mods, 10 for the AK family weapons and 10 for the Car family weapons, 4 masks with materials and patterns, and 8 achievements. I'll be ranking this pack out of 3 categories, out of 5, for a max of 15 points. Will these Cold War customizations create capable combatants, or will this pack be walking with the dinosaurs? Let's find out, and see if the Butcher's AK/Car mod pack is still worth it. "20 weapon mods, split between AK type weapons and AR type weapons. There's surprisingly a very small amount of guns that can equip anything from this pack, but most of these weapon mods are intended for the base game weapons of each family. Are they actually worth it? Well, let's get to it. Plus, to make this interesting, I'll be giving points to each weapon family based on who has the better attachments. The DMR kit. Available for both families, the DMR kit increases damage to 160, increases accuracy by a bit, but lowers stability and total ammo by a huge amount. There are technically stat numbers, but 4 weapons can equip it and each have different additions and removals. All you need to know is that it turns your AK or AR into a more moddable M308. That's 1 point to both. Now that we have the only true shared attachment out of the way, we'll cover the AK side of the mods, starting off with the scope mount. Besides the +4 stability and -1 concealment, this mod moves the placement of sights from the foregrip to above the receiver. I'm fine with the placement of the sights by default anyway, and since I use fire control, aiming is relegated to a tactical version of doing a gamer lean. It could be useful for something like tabula rasa, but other than that, it's not that special. The PBS suppressor. It adds +4 stability to the cost of all of your threat and 5 concealment. I'd say this is a really good suppressor if you don't want to ruin your damage stat. However, the bigger, better suppressor outclasses it with only a 3 concealment penalty, 1 damage and the addition of 8 accuracy. And if you want to get really technical, the KS12 suppressor outclasses them both. The low drag magazine. This increases your magazine size by 4, gives +4 stability and increases concealment by 1. This is all around a better choice than the quad stack mag, and it gets a point. The classic stock. It increases stability by a massive 12, increases accuracy by 4, but comes at a penalty of 4 concealment. It seems like a really good mod to have, but as with the scope mount, it's only good if you're not able to use skills. It does look really cool though, and it gets a point for that. The aluminium grip. It increases accuracy by 4 and concealment by 1. Pretty good, but the rubber grip is better for concealment, the plastic grip is better for accuracy, and the verge grip is better for stability and accuracy. The modern barrel. It increases damage by 2 and concealment by 1. It's straight up an upgrade to the dragon barrel from the mod courier pack, and it gets a point. The crab's rail. It increases accuracy by 8 and concealment by 3. It's a direct upgrade to the battle-proven handguard, but if you don't care about the concealment, the next one is better. The key mod rail. It increases accuracy and stability by 8 at the cost of 2 concealment. It gets a point. And finally, the aluminium foregrip. Only available for the Krinkov, it increases stability by 4. The Moscow special rail already increases stability by 8, so this is kinda pointless. Out of 10 attachments, only 5 get a point. Let's see if the Car family has better attachments. The L5 magazine. It increases magazine capacity by 4 and stability by 4. I'd say it gets a point, but it is identical to the Expert Mag from the Clover character pack. The two-piece stock. It increases both accuracy and stability by 4, at the cost of 2 concealment. I'd say it's pretty good, but the war-torn stock grants 4 more accuracy, and isn't locked behind a really annoying achievement. The Thrust Upper Receiver. It increases damage by 2 at the cost of 8 accuracy. Maybe you're using this to spray and pray, but I'd rather just take the other one from this pack. The LW Upper Receiver. It increases accuracy by 4 and stability by 8. Even if the Exotique Receiver and the Orthogon Receivers boost your damage, I'd take an accuracy boost any day. It gets a point. The Thrust Lower Receiver. It increases damage by 2. It doesn't really do much, at least compared to the only other in-slot attachment, but it's still pretty good. It gets a point. For trying, at least. The Oval Foregrip. Only available for the Car 4, it increases damage by 2 and stability by 16, but only at the cost of lowering accuracy by 8. Like with the other double-digit attachments, it's good if you're in a situation where you can't grab perks, but outside of that, you're better off using any other gun, especially since the Car 4 has a stability of 80 if you're using all the boosting perks. The EMO Foregrip. Again, only available for the Car 4, it increases damage by 1, accuracy by 4, and stability by 8. And concealment by 2. Positives all around. And it gets a point. The Longer Go Foregrip. Only available for the AMR-16, it increases stability by 8, but decreases concealment by 3. It's slightly worse in the concealment front than the Tactical Handguard, but they're both beat out by the Orthogon Foregrip from the McShane mod pack. And finally, the Aftermarket Shorty. Only available for the Para, it increases stability by 8. Not bad if you really need it, but like I've said before, stability is everywhere. It still gets a point. With all that added up, both sides are at a tie with 5 points. So in a pack of 20 achievements, only 10 are worth using. Great. The weapon mods get a 3. Some are still really good and haven't been outclassed, but others aren't worth it or locked behind really annoying achievements, but on to that one for later. War masks with materials and patterns, all themed around dinosaurs? I'd say it makes sense with how old the AR and AK platforms are, but it's certainly a choice. We have Alfred the Carnotaurus, Vincent the Velociraptor, Timothy the Triceratops, and Patchy the Pachycephalosaurus. Yep, those are dinosaurs. I don't really have anything else to say. The materials are as follows: Dawn, Feathers, Fossil, and Prehistoric. Surprisingly, all of these are kinda good. Dawn being the major highlight, of course. The patterns are as follows: Dinosaur Scars, Dinosaur Skull, Dinosaur Stripes, and Prehistoric Predator. They're alright. I imagine with enough trial and error you can make these look good on something at least. The customization gets a 3, at least for effort. Eight achievements, which do not require the ownership of the DLC to unlock. Considering this pack only adds attachments, I'm not that bothered, but I am glad none of them require you to mod the guns in specific ways. OV Saw 72,000. On Nightclub, beat the heist with an OV 9000 Saw in your primary and secondary slot. This unlocks the upper and lower thrust receivers for the Car family, and the Longer Go foregrip for the AMR-16. Hey, Mr. DJ. On Nightclub, have 12 hostages, tied or untied, on the dance floor when you escape. This unlocks the Aluminium Grip for the AK family, the Aluminium Foregrip for the Krinkov, and the LW Upper Receiver for the Car family. The Wolf lures you to your grave. On Art Gallery or Framing Frame Day 1, use the hand dryers to kill 2 patrolling guards in stealth. It unlocks the EMO Foregrip and the Oval Foregrip for the Car 4, and the Aftermarket Shorty for the Para. The Turtle always wins. On Art Gallery, beat the heist in stealth within 4 minutes, with everyone wearing the ICTV and no armor bag deployable equipped. This unlocks the solid stock for the AK family, the 2-piece stock, the patchy mask, the fossil material, and the prehistoric predator pattern. Here comes the pain train. On Firestarter Overkill, complete every day and loud with a full crew of 4 players only using unmodified AK rifles and power submachine guns. This unlocks the DMR kit and the low drag magazine for the AK family, the Timothy mask, the prehistoric material, and the dinosaur stripes pattern. Private Party. On Jewelry Store Overkill, don't let any of the cops enter the store until Twitch comes back with the van. This unlocks the DMR kit for the car family, the L5 magazine, the Vincent mask, the feathers material, and the dinosaur scars pattern. $1.8 million speedrun. On Mall Crasher Overkill, secure $1.8 million in loose cash within 50 seconds of starting the heist. This unlocks the PBS suppressor and scope mount for the AK family, the Alfred mask, the Dawn material, and the dinosaur skull pattern. And finally, the Collector. Kill 100 enemies with either AK or car family weapons. This unlocks the Keymod rail, the Crabs rail, and the modern barrel for the AK family. A mix of unneedlessly challenging and a walk in the park. Out of 8 achievements, I'd say that 5 are actually worth doing for one or all of the attachments. And if you want an attachment for its looks rather than its stats, then just download the weapon attachment customizer. That also doesn't excuse the fact that some of these attachments are attached to weapon skins, but I won't get into that. All in all, the achievements get a 3. 3, 3, and 3. Truly a middle of the road pack, as the AK car mod pack gets a 9, and places itself in D tier. Compared to Future or the previous mod pack, it's not that good. Only having 10 attachments being worth it, alongside having some being power crept in the post-revival, is a little disheartening. Grab it on sale unless you really like AKs and ARs. Next time, we'll count all 50 of our blessings and step into the shoes of a sociopath with the Jacket Character Pack and the Hotline Miami Mask Pack. And I hope to see you there. Take care, and have a good one.